I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? Check it out. This is Brilla 88, and it's crazy late. After Juneteenth, pre-Juneteenth festival here on Central Avenue, in South Central America, as I like to call it. I'm somebody's son, and my mother would like to play videos at her merch booth tomorrow at the Juneteenth festival, so I have become the tech advisor. So I'm putting together a monitor to play videos off a thumb drive that's connected to my laptop that will hopefully go into a USB-C HDMI out to the HDMI cord into my freestanding monitor at her merch booth to broadcast videos and the audio via my Bluetooth, where there'll be a slight lapse. But so I did that instead of doing this full episode, so forgive me. That is where I'm at. We're behind on episodes. Shit's happening, but hopefully we can get back on track. There's a book out, Tour Story. We're going to keep it live on johnnyplantain.com. The book is called Tour Story Volume 1. My homie Jay Yedo took pictures. I wrote the words, told some tour stories. Many of you met him at the merch booth. But go get your book, johnnyplantain.com, and look it up. My city is being targeted by the United States government.
Chaos erupts here in LA County. Widespread immigration raids triggering protests from Paramount to downtown. And tonight, an unlawful assembly has been declared as President Trump announces he will be deploying thousands of National Guard troops here to Los Angeles. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the News at 10. I'm Rick Chambers. Major developments during a second day of violent confrontations between protesters and federal agents who are out on the streets trying to round up undocumented immigrants.
Immigration. Take a deep breath. You could say that there's no argument. This land was stolen from indigenous peoples. Spain laid claim to part of it. Florida, Texas. I don't understand Mexican history, so I'm not going to get into it. But I know that there were no Mexicans here 1,000 years ago. People were here, but I don't believe they called themselves Mexicans. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think that. For thousands of years, the United States didn't exist. I would say somewhere around 1776, but before that, there were the colonies. But even in the era of the colonies, I don't know how much of this was Spain and how much of it was still belonging to its rightful owners. If anyone can own land, because the peoples are here, my understanding is that some of them believe that they didn't own the land. They borrowed it from their grandchildren, and that could be some made up shit that sounds hippity-dippity. But I like to believe that that was true in my heart. Land ownership is a very European concept from what I understand. But might has been used to overtake territory in every culture. Period. Europeans didn't invent war. I'm not going to hop off into that lie. They perfected genocide, though. And that's what happened to create America. The Spanish did a more slick version of genocide where you breed yourself in to the land. You use some force, use some religion, use some sex, and then you take over. What I know about the Spanish is that there's and Catalan, if I'm saying it right, and there's the Basque region, and them motherfuckers don't even all get along. You go to parts of Spain and they're not fucking with Spanish. So that dysfunction on their little ass country, they brought to a larger continent and a larger landmass. And so there was violence, division, everything that they're bringing with them, along with disease and a whole bunch of other shit. Simultaneously, the British are doing that in a more northern place. Somehow, after the Alamo, we have a firm border, which is just an imaginary line because the same plants grow on both sides of this motherfucker. There are families on both sides. The same genetics, this imaginary line that has caused so much drama. Now, there are people who believe in these lines and as if they were real. Not like it. This is not some sci-fi dystopian universe where since the dawn of the eons of the triple sun, it's been this way. Motherfucker, we know for a fact that these lines didn't exist, and they only exist because powerful, rich, violent, disgusting motherfuckers made them. And you want me to respect these lines. We won't even get into the laws yet that these fucking sick fucks created. You can listen to R. Kelly and know that a sick person can still do good shit. I'm not saying all the laws are bad. I'm not a capitalism hater. I don't hate the idea of America. But there's some sick shit. As long we're going to follow these laws, as long as you got the good laws, as long as you agree to the sick shit. Like black people being 3/5 of a human. So we can get to that part right now, just really quick, because I want to get that out of the way for my black people in my life that have told me, well, if they just follow the law, motherfucker, if we just follow the law, we wouldn't even be fucking human. Shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? What do you think this should happen almost in your life? There's video footage of the civil rights movement of people not respecting a law that was unjust. I'm not the biggest fan of integration or segregation. I could have had it either way. But the fact was, not even our ancestors, our grandparents, from my generation, our grandparents and people I met were unhappy with the way they were living. So in the law, so they decided to make a change. People fought, were sprayed, or handcuffed, shot in the head, all that shit to change those laws. One might argue that technically violent uprising has never really brought about change in America. If you want to exclude the American Revolution with this whole, which founded on, this country was founded on bloodshed. Then again, the Civil War, when people of color want to fight and bleed and burn for their rights, it's unacceptable. But when the American forefathers did it against the British, it was okay when they threw tea into the harbor. In the Civil War, when they burned plantations and fields, when the Yankees said, because we've had the Industrial Revolution and our immigrants came here and we gave them slave wages, but didn't call them slaves because they looked like us. So they were just mixed and wops. And the Industrial Revolution is going good and we pay them a wage and we have sweatshops, but we don't have slaves. And your immigrants are slaves and have zero rights. And that looks really bad, but we're good. Fuck everything. You're the South is dependent on these slaves. But fuck that. We say it's time for them to be free. And we're going to burn your shit and free these slaves and give them, as we celebrate Juneteenth, give them absolutely nothing. Promise them everything. Promise them 40 acres and a mule and give them nothing. For 100 years after that, we'll still make it basically illegal for them to educate themselves and own anything. But it's really about their freedom. This is unjust, guys. No. I digress. It's such a complex issue. But there were white people going into other people's area and burning their business. As disgusting and wretched as that business was. And if you really want to get into it, the precious metals and the things that make your iPhone and where your iPhone is assembled may be just like those industrial factories in early New York City, but not much different than the plantations of Georgia in Georgia. So when someone burns an Apple store, I have a mom and pop business in South Central that lasted through whatever you guys want to call this just happened, whatever you want to call BLM, whatever you want to call 92, and whatever you want to call 65. We are still fucking here. Praise God. by the grace of God, because we do good business and we're involved in our community. I believe that is why, and it could just be, like I said, the grace of God. Yes, the disruption caused a little bit for our business, but don't get it twisted. The whole city wasn't on fire. Everything was going on just as planned. And plans were not disrupted. Children still had their birthday parties. Chuck E. Cheese was open. The fucking freeways were running. The Dodgers were playing. The motherfucking things were happening. PSG played in the fucking Rose Bowl. Mexican national teams, like, were taking the field, like, our Mexican club teams, like, there's, I don't know the name, sorry to be disrespectful, but I don't know the name of the team they played. They got beat 4-0. That game happened. Father's Day was cracking. People were downtown near the 101, where the detention center is and where the county jail is, or the Twin Towers. And it's right off the freeway. So it looks like people ran onto the freeway. No, that freeway it's a hub. So they were protesting where they were supposed to protest. And once again, I'll go back to my black people who say that it's none of our business. Do you know how the Tulsa Race Massacre really popped off? What pissed the white people off is when they arrested Dickie Rowe, as I believe, and forgive me, Steph Simon, if I fuck this up, for allegedly whatever in an elevator with a white woman. They took him and the black folks said, "Oh, we're gonna go get our dude. Fuck all this." They got guns and shit and went down there and said, "Hey, give us homeboy." Motherfuckers got mad. The motherfuckers demanded shit. They brought out the lynch mob, which is now the National Guard, the U.S. Marines, the LAPD, whatever you want to call it. Those are licensed lynch mobs. Now, that's where police come. You can listen to Karis One tell you, officer, overseer.
Open up your eye while you're checking out the boom box. Check the exercise. Take the word overseer like a sample. Repeat it very quickly and approve, for example. Overseer, 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 officer. Yeah, officer from overseer. You need a little clarity? Check the similarity. The overseer rode around the plantation. The officer is on patrol in our nation. The overseer could stop you what you're doing. The officer will pull you over just when he's pursuing. The overseer had the right to get ill, and if you fought back, the overseer had the right to kill. The officer has the right to arrest, and if you fight back, they put a hole in your chest. They both ride horses. After 400 years, I've got no choices. The police them have a little gun, so when I'm on the streets, I walk around with a bigger one.
Brown people and good black people and whatever, the good people of my city went down to free the people of our city, to go to where they were detained. It wasn't a melee all about. Yeah, when it gets dark, there are some knuckleheads that try to burn some shit down. I still don't know one small business owner, and there could be, but, like, you know, I'll be out here with the small business things. I'll be out here with our council person from District 9, and I'll be asking and see who needs support. But you can't stand by and do nothing and say nothing. There's no way you can explain to me a law that justifies a child being separated from their parent. You're not going to do it with me. There's still graffiti from multiple Latino gangs who I'm going to not say I have no qualm with, but I don't need the assistance of the federal government. Rarely do I even need the assistance of the Los Angeles Police Department. But I'm comfortable, if I must say comfortable, if that's even a word for it, calling them if necessary to deal with rogue citizens. But if you're going to take anyone, people, take the people that are not going to their children's graduation. Showing up to a child's graduation or waiting for people outside of school is not only predatory, but it's sick. And I've told the story here. Maybe we went to B-Boy Summit. I don't have the disposition to stand by. I don't care how many guns you have. I don't care what your badge says. And my homie was, I was telling my daughter about you at B-Boy Summit, because he said, you were really doing what we say we're going to do, what we always talk about. They put my homeboy in handcuffs and I was ready to fight. I pushed motherfucker. I put myself in between him and the gun and said, you're not taking him to jail. You're not doing shit unless I'm going or we're fighting. I don't have the disposition to watch you put your hands on a woman or separate someone from their child. I may have the disposition to film a man going in cuffs and being deported from Home Depot if that happened. I may be able to ask him his name and his birthday so that we can track him. But I might lose my shit then too. I don't do well with this shit. But I'm older and I'm not down for burning shit or looting shit. But I understand angry people, and I understand there's always people, opportunists. I also have people that were out there that see the Antifa people who are out there to do this and using this as a smokescreen for their own agenda, which I don't agree with. But just to be clear, and there's a lot of jumbled up mambo jambo, my city is not operating. We are on alert. We are supporting each other. We are speaking our minds, and we are going about our motherfucking business. And it looks like the United States government has a lot bigger fish to fry than taking working people away from their jobs and their families. I will leave that commentary on the world stage to much more qualified people like Saul Williams, Brother Ali, Locksmith, Andre Lowe, that have been educating me via their social medias and our personal conversations.
The pledge to resist. We believe that as a people living in the United States, it is our responsibility to resist the injustices done by our government in our names. Not in our name will you wage endless war. There can be no more deaths, no more transfusions of blood for oil. Not in our name will you invade countries, bomb civilians, kill more children, letting history take its course over the graves of the nameless. Not in our names will you erode the very freedoms you have claimed to fight for. Not by our hands will we supply weapons and funding for the annihilation of families on foreign soil. Not by our mouths will we let fear silence us. Not by our hearts will we allow whole peoples or countries to be deemed evil. Not by our will and not in our name. We pledge resistance. We pledge alliance with those who have undergone attack for voicing opposition to the war or for their religion or ethnicity. We pledge to make common cause with the people of the world to bring about justice, freedom, and peace. Another world is possible, and we pledge to make it real.
I don't think this is where our Marines should be focused. But you know what? If it takes Marines out of the Middle East, I might just be the guys to fuck it, because they're not seeing any action here. I would think if we were going to count emotional damage in dollars, the U.S. government, the federal government, has done more damage to Los Angeles than the citizens of Los Angeles have done to Los Angeles at this point.
Tonight, active duty U.S. Marines officially in L.A. Meanwhile, protests here now stretching for a week with a nighttime curfew still in place in downtown.
Marines have just been spotted at the other federal building. What is your take?
There's no reason for them to be here.
The Marines being out here is laughable. The fact that they're out here for this, it's again been very peaceful on our end.
Downtown LA was begging to have the curfew lifted so they could get back to business. Many people who live downtown, various Instagrams, all of our routes that are downtown Los Angeles, and we deliver and pick up clothes, have been open. We've never missed it. We haven't missed a delivery or a pickup. It's not as bad as they want to paint it. I don't feel safer with them here, and I haven't met anyone that does. Everyone's on edge. I feel like even the people that want this shit to happen don't like the way that it's happening. There's a way of, I'm going to sound stupid. Somebody has to be willing to sound stupid and be corrected. I will sound stupid. How about we close the border? Both sides. We get Mexico to agree, hey, we're going to close this border for 2 years while we legalize, with bunny ears, as they say, quote unquote, all of the undocumented people here. We make them citizens. Whilst we do that, we're not accepting any more visas from anywhere. Everyone that's here, let's get you on board, paying taxes, because I'm having this argument with Black Americans. They're a burden on our economy. They're a burden on our economy or our public services right now. But they're also contributing way more than they're a burden. And anyone that they're not tax evade. Billionaires evade taxes. If you approach someone who's undocumented and say, here's your route to citizenship, sign up, pay taxes, and we're going to charge you an extra $50 a year for citizenship fees for the next 50 years and whatever. They would gladly sign up for anything so they don't have to look over their shoulder and to contribute to a community that they love in a country that they love or the idea of the country that they love. If the right wingers have to have some type of sacrifice, because if you're married, like any progress takes compromise, and fuck it. All right, my compromise is let's be extreme. But you guys, if they put that on the table, okay, we'll legalize everyone that's undocumented and or give them all citizenship, and will you guys agree to closing the borders for 2 years and us putting all these Marines and troops and whatever and walls and all? Yeah, for sure. I don't think that the president of the United States, because California would benefit greatly in my eyes about that. I could be like, I'm gonna sound stupid. California will benefit greatly from giving citizenship to all the undocumented people here. These are my neighbors. These are my friends and family. These, I would love for them to have citizenship. And it would boost our economy. And we're already the 5th largest economy in the world as a city or a state or whatever, a state. I think that would boost us up a little bit. I don't know if that's what the federal government wants, because I think the president doesn't care for our governor right now or care for our state. So he wouldn't want that. So there's more disruption. It slows down business because people are scared to go to work. People are scared to go shopping. People, we're on high alert. So it's affecting our economy negatively. We're moving forward. So I guess, I'm going to say it's business as usual. We're moving forward, but, it would be great if we could get back to business. And I thought America, above anything, was a fucking business. But it's a business that doesn't want a liberal state like California in power.
Illegal business controls America. What can we get for 63 cents? What can we get for 63 cents?
And if you're going to raid homes, what about a 7-day notice so people could, it's so ugly, it's self-deportation. Get your affairs in order, or when we come back, we're going to snatch you up out this motherfucker. Here's a ticket like I get for not having registration. Get this fixed in 30 days or hit their pockets, America. These are people where you're going to Home Depot. They're not at Home Depot robbing people. They're not at the car wash robbing people. They're working. Tax them. They're not billionaires. You love to tax people who aren't billionaires or millionaires. Fucking set up a tax. Third stupid idea. If you live in South Central or any part of LA right now, they're building housing like crazy. A lot of these housing, who's going to live there? Undocumented immigrants who are making a decent living are going to be paying the rent there. When you are lobbying to build, because they had to lobby to get these things built because there's no parking, it's going to fuck up a lot of the communities, but they're building it anyway. Developers, you stand to gain so much more by helping your tenants get a path to citizenship. So if you're giving golden visas to people for $5 million, how about you buy 50,000 citizenships and see if the good old president will give you a deal? And then you sell them back along with the rent to your tenants. As long as you lease this apartment, you're on track for citizenship. You rent from me for 5 years and you pay an extra $50 a month, you'll be a citizen at the end of 5 years. And you'll have this golden ticket that says as long as you're paying your rent, you have a permanent visa. You have a visa, a work visa. It benefits the developers. These are your tenants that you're losing, that are not going to work, that you're going to lose on your rent later. If you're turning a blind eye to shit, like I'm trying to appeal to, since the idea that these borders don't exist, since the idea that separating humans from their parents, tiny humans from their parents is wrong, maybe the financial, it makes more fiscal sense. It's more fiscally responsible to keep them in. There are people right now that are undocumented prisoners in the California penal system. Why aren't you marching in there and taking them out to fill your quota? As a taxpayer, I'm paying, or when I get my taxes paid this year, I'm working on it. I had a tour, some more shit, but as I continue to pay my back taxes and all my taxes, I'm paying to lock individuals up who are undocumented and actual, if you believe in the justice system, criminals, people who have been convicted. How are they still in the penitentiary in California or the county jail? Why are we emptying that out? Because someone's making money for every day they're in there. There are a ton of houseless encampments. They're not raiding houseless encampments. They are getting working people who are set up lives to send fear and be cruel. But motherfucker, we are not scared of you. I have never been afraid of the police in my motherfucking life. Fuck y'all. Fuck ICE. Fuck you. I never seen a gun before, you punk motherfucker. I'll beat the shit out of you, bro. And all my homies know, like, when I see the police, I'll go the other way. Because I can't with these motherfuckers, bro. I fucking can't. I never have, never will, never will, never will.
Shit, try to tell me this ain't that like I ain't got it hit. I ain't no shit. You can tell ICE and immigration. I said, suck my dick.
And my city is not backing down. We may be cautious, but we are not 100%, 100% afraid. And I can't speak for all of us, but if I was a woman with a child, I would be fearful. But your abuelas, your tias, or your whoever, if I'm outside and it pops off, know that it's a motherfucking fight. And that's one thing, like, I had to look at my wife and tell her, like, yo, I can't watch this shit. If I see this shit, it's me too. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And I don't need to post about it. I try not to. I want to stay out of the way as much as possible. But I'm gonna see something and say, I'm gonna see something and do something, motherfucker. And I've always been, and it's not the best thing. It's not something I like to brag about. And it's something, like I said before, my homie telling his daughter we could laugh about years later. He's like, you looked at the cop and said, this Cloverdale cuz. I don't give a fuck. I can't. The way motherfuckers talk about motherfuckers that step on their shoe or date their girlfriend, that to me, I keep that. I don't have that energy for any petty shit. I have that energy for injustice. You know, I have too many kids to go to marches, but I know that I'm a knucklehead. Like, I don't react well. I'm going to be, that's the thing too, is like, if you know you don't have the temperament, don't put yourself out there. Leave that to the Gandhi people, the great people who can sit there and be taunted and keep their peace and be cuffed and roughed up and taken and put inside a paddy wagon and hold a flower in their teeth. I am not that motherfucker, y'all. So I stay home. I donate. I make music. I try to raise kind kids. I'm here to give people rides if they need to in the minivan. I try to play a different role because I don't have the, until the front line is really the front line, I don't have the tolerance for it. And I hope the front line never becomes the front line, the actual front line. Because we're all citizens. We're all humans, citizens of Earth. And the people behind the badges, you know, all bullshit and anger aside, are still humans. And even in my faith, we're taught to love our enemy. And I don't put myself in positions where I cannot love my enemy. And because I love and respect the people in my community and my enemy, I don't want to be in a position to have to assault anyone. But I don't have to agree with you. I have to love you and love. If you're married, you know, love means you don't always agree. I don't want to see anyone dead. But at the same time, like I said, women and children are off the fucking board, man. And squares, like, we're like, this motherfucker's going to work. There's a motherfucker at Home Depot. Like, that's a square, bro. Why are we violating the squares, bro? Like, I'm like, not that I'm not a square, bro. I'm square as fuck. Like, when people pull me, I'm like, why are you pulling me over? Like, no felonies, no priors. Leave me alone, bro. When you run my license, bro, leave me the fuck alone. I'm 47 with no felonies, bro. Please, praise God. By the grace of God, like, come on. I have not that I've not participated in felonious activities, but I'm on the right side. So this is a State of the Union, or from me sounding stupid with my stupid ideas, with my big fucking stupid mouth and my open stupid fucking heart and my stupid fucking anger management problems. I just don't know how you get up in the morning and say, I'm going to go separate families because these words say so. I wouldn't be here if I followed unjust laws. There's a YouTube interview with one of my mentors, Stephen Wayne. I'll hopefully put the link in this bio and may put a clip.
Oh man, that dude is like, he like the king of the streets. And I'm like, Just how ignorant I was. I didn't even know that hip hop had an underground scene that was as big as it was until we were sitting in that BJ's and one of the servers walked over to the table and said, "Aren't you Murs?" And you was like, "Yeah, man, you just, you always been so humble and low key." Like, "Yeah. Can I get your autograph?" What? You want this nigga's autograph? I was like, "Are you serious? Are you like that?" And you was just like, "Yeah, whatever they say, man." I've always loved that about you. Your humility should be contagious.
But from my homeboy Steven, who's a pastor and a mentor of mine, to my homeboy that used to, when I was studying under the Dr. York shit, I was a young kid and I was like, man, is it righteous to sell weed? Because I really struggled with that because I was a gray area. I was like, I'm not going to sell crack, but I sell weed. But that's illegal. Is that a crime? And it's just like, it's my relationship with God, and I never thought that I was wrong under the law of God. And my neglect for that unjust law enabled me to have the financial stability I needed to build my business, to build an American tax-paying business that has changed lives, employed people, supported people, helped support people who are now multi-platinum Grammy award-winning artists. I've contributed to my local economy and my community. I've been an asset by disregarding an unjust law, which is now being seen as unjust. The weed is still the same. Now, it's a little different now, but weed is still weed. It does the same thing to the human body, but now it's okay in the state of California. Imagine that. So all you people sticking to the law, laws change. The Ten Commandments don't. But nowhere in the Ten Commandments does it say you have to be a citizen. What laws are we following, man? Like, the letter of the law. Like, how do you get up and enforce an unjust law? And some of you are struggling with it, and I love those of you who are struggling with it. And I hope that you can find a way to feed your family and not do that. It's like, yeah, you got to do it. You go work at Amazon. That guy's no better. You go work for fucking SpaceX. Elon's no better. I get it, man. It's hard. They've made it really hard to make a decent living. So like I said, like the brothers and sisters in the Marines and National Guard and the LAPD, I feel for them as well. Not as much, not by a long shot, as much as I feel for the quote unquote undocumented people. But I have an understanding of what you're going through. And I know that it's not your fault. I hope you didn't watch Robin Hood and want to be the sheriff of Nottingham. We all wanted to be Robin Hood. This is your chance to be Robin Hood, motherfucker. You don't want to be King Richard sucking your thumb with a fucking python and the fucking fat ass. I'm not sorry, fat. Trying to be no body shaming, but a heavy set husky wolf. You wanted to be the husky Little John. There's husky people on both sides. You wanted to be Little John and Robin Hood and Friar Tuck and little cuz the bunny, little bunny cuz, but the arrows, blood. Like that's who you wanted to be. What happened to that kid, man? Or if you watch that shit and legitimately like, I want to be the sheriff of Nottingham taking the last penny from the church, motherfucker.
Oh, well, what have we got here?
Now, just a minute, Sheriff. That's the poor box.
It sure is, and I'll just take it for poor Prince John. Every little bit helps.
You thieving scoundrel!
Now, take it easy, Friar. I'm just doing my duty.
Collecting taxes for that arrogant, greedy, ruthless, no good Prince John?
I respect that kind of evil. Like I respect the 50 cents of the world, because there's got to be good to be evil, but there shouldn't be that many people that are evil. I want to look in your eyes. Don't cover up your face, bro. Be 10 toes down with it, man. We should be the ones to mask because they're flying drones over. They're taking our likeness, to get into the Intuit Dome. By the way, if you didn't know, just multi-billion-dollar stadium built in Inglewood, California, where the Clippers play, where they have the Olympics. You have to give up your biometric information upon entry, even if you opt out of the facial recognition, because when you buy a ticket, you put your face into the app, and then you put your phone in your pocket, your wallet in your pocket, and your ticket, your concessions, everything is paid for with your fucking face. And if you say, I don't want to do that, they say, fine, but we still, once you enter this building, we have the rights. I believe in perpetuity, like forever, they have the rights to your biometric information. When you're out at these protests, allegedly they're scanning the crowd, you know? But I don't understand why the people that are protected by the law and supposedly here to protect us are covering their fucking face. They're killing senators or representatives. They're killing members of the United States government that they don't agree with.
Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot and killed in their homes overnight, also shot multiple times.
Senator John Hoffman and his wife.
And they are out of surgery, and a lot of people praying as well for them that they will make it through. We're keeping tabs on that as well.
Shit is getting real. And I still got to put out music to feed my family. So I have a song called Gas Prices out. It's about basically mental health, and you should go stream it, because we could all, it's about supporting and checking in with especially your male friends, because we don't do that enough as men in this macho America, and not just hearting a picture or liking something or giving a thumbs up, like, you know, celebrating and holding space to hear them out. I got to work on that. And I hope you guys are doing better at it than I am. And if nobody told you today, I fucking love you. And we'll get back to talking to music, God willing, next week. Peace.
Gas prices higher than S and double OP. Nobody feel emotions, all we feeling is emojis. I'ma keep it solid like my OGs told me. We all going through it, so it's love when you approach me. I've been riding down a highway of life, saying prayers, asking God for advice. Tell the pastor, blessing, what's the price? Tell the devils and the weapons formed against me, it's a fight. I know the burden that I'm bearing ain't light, but kill excuses, can't complain about the plight. Cause I done witnessed worse with this very sight, so I keep my spirits high like I'm trying to catch a flight. And I don't claim to understand it, why it's so insane on this planet. Every day a blessing, I can't take that shit for granted. And I know it'll never give me more pain than I can manage. And for my brothers, I'ma be strong. If you need someone to lean on, feel free to bother me, cause I'd rather hear your problems than to make a R.I.P. song. Gas prices higher than S and double OP. Nobody feel emotions, all we feeling is emojis. I'ma keep it solid like my OGs told me. We all going through it, so it's love when you approach me. Gas prices higher than S and double OP. Nobody feel emotions, all we feeling is emojis. I'ma keep it solid like my OGs told me. We all going through it, so it's love when you approach me. Stolen cable, I remember watching all that. Dope boy on the Shaw dressed in all black. Little homie told me to get his ball back. Triple OG, that's what you call that, yeah. One time for the West. Best rapper, but I never been the best dressed. Jesus only had a robe, didn't need to have a diamond on his earlobe. So who you tryna be like? I was selling weed when it would've got me 3 strikes. You was thinking midterms, I was thinking big worm. Show you better than I can tell you, that's how the kids learn. Started doing all the good that I could do. Now I live a life that's too good to be true. Eating tacos, sitting by the water, spoiling the daughter of my kid's grandfather.
Gas prices higher than S and double OP.
I'ma keep it solid. We all going through it. We all going through it, so it's love when you approach me. I've been broke down, I've been built up. Been poured out, I've been filled up. Battle scars on me healed up. Ain't lose my soul cause it's sealed up. Tell my bros, tell my fam, if you need me, I'm your man. Understand, I'd rather shower you with praise than put flowers on your grave. Cause I've been broke down, I've been built up. Been poured out, I've been filled up. Battle scars on me healed up. Ain't lose my soul cause it's sealed up. Tell my bros, tell my fam, if you need me, I'm your man. Understand, I'd rather shower you with praise than put flowers on your grave. Cause the gas price is higher than S and double OP. Nobody feel emotions, all we feeling is emojis. I'ma keep it solid like my OGs told me. We all going through it, so it's love when you approach me.